And our first presenter is Bill Stimson, News and Views End Scale. He's going to be turning the Cornerstone Milling, Walters Cornerstone Red Wing Milling Company into Ellison Flour. There's a mouthful.
Say that three times fast.
So, welcome to the show again, Bill. Appreciate your support, and it's all yours.
Thanks, Tom. Oops. There we All right. Looks like it worked. Okay. So turning the Walters Red Wing modeling into Ellison's flour. Uh, I don't know. In both HO and N scale, this kit has been around for quite a while and people have built it. And most of the ones I see look exactly like the picture on the package. So I was looking around to figure out a way to do something. I found this at a swap meet for about half of what Walther's charges. Now, okay, let's try it. Let's see what we can do. So I didn't figure a way to kit bash it. I saw a couple of kit bashes, but I wasn't looking to make a flat or anything like that. So here we go. I primed the walls with my Army Painter gray primer. And then I used apple barrel vanilla ice cream and slate gray to do the walls and windows. Well, but the interesting thing I found was that the vanilla ice cream paint did not really cover the gray primer, especially not in the first coat. It actually ended up taking almost 5 coats to do it. But the good part for me was that kind of made the walls look a little weathered. They're not all just I don't know what color this is. It's like a creamy yellow. It's supposed to be the color of vanilla ice cream, I assume. Um, I got things assembled pretty well and put the smokestacks together and found that the joints didn't go together very well. So I ended up puttying up the edges and that solved the problem. If you don't have some of this, oh, whose brand was it? AK Interactive Modeling uh, gray putty. It actually has no fumes to it, which makes it even better, and it goes on real nice and dries fairly quickly. So, um, to make this building different from others, I searched online to find a new sign. I found this sign. It it actually said the real sign said milled from selected Canada wheat. Well, I'm not going to build it. No, not disparaging on anybody in Canada, but I'm not building a Canadian railroad. So I went into uh, Microsoft Design and changed Harvest or Canada Harvest, and that made it look good. Unfortunately, my printer, as you can see, just did not is not acting up. It's acting up a little bit, and I have a bunch of lines. So I went in and got a red colored pencil, and I filled in as best I could to make it look a little better. Of course, those are the pictures you see there are pretty well blown up compared to the signs on the building. Um, there you can see. One thing about Walther's kits, they usually go together pretty smoothly, and this one did. And you can see there the yellowish color. Here's some more pictures of it. The sign, and it doesn't look like the building on the picture. It looks a little bit like it, but not much. I had no problem adding a little bit of rust to the um, dust collectors and the roof there, and added a whole bunch of stuff to the roof too that didn't this stuff didn't come in the kit, and that seemed to help make it look a little more realistic, you know. For a relatively inexpensive plastic kit, this goes together, and it was kind of fun to take it and turn it into something that's a little different from your usual Walther's kit. Um, and and then the next thing I want to talk about is I don't know if all of you realize, but Joanne Fabric is going out of business. Well, I didn't think of it much, but my wife wanted to go, so I went with her and found that there was a whole bunch of trees that actually were in scale, and that vanilla ice cream acrylic paint and a whole bunch of other acrylic paints were available there for like half price.
Mm.
So I bought a bunch of stuff, and this is the corner of my layout that I've been working on building scenery up. This is what it looked like before all those trees were purchased and added in. And now you can see how many trees I actually bought. I think I bought 40 or 50 trees for 35, $40. It wasn't too bad. And that certainly filled in that forest really well. Amazing how well you can, with just some, I mean, especially an N scale that you're looking back from so far that you can't, trees don't have to be perfect to look like real trees. And I also found, I don't know if people remember, I built this shack in the corner there, and that's going to be a good spot for that little wooden shack that I scratch built for a couple of my builds ago. And so that's what I've been up to for the last month or so between the plugging the trees in and building the Red Wing into Ellison's things. Anybody got any questions, comments? Um, and this is kind of a short one, but
Bill, two comments. First
sure.
off, I agree on the technique. I really like the technique of using a gray primer and then painting over it with the acrylic paint that does not cover in the first coat. I find on wooden buildings that it gives you a very convincing look of weathered paint with that gray showing through.
Yeah.
And so I think that's a great technique. Also, I use my inkjet printer for signs. You may want to try running the application in your printer to clean the heads.
Yeah, I have. It doesn't seem to work. I think it's the fact that this printer is 15 years old
You
now.
just wore it out. Yeah.